Heads up before we get the video started, on Thursday night we will upload a video for our draft preview, so stay tuned for that. Now let's get into tonight's video with Trevor Shackles. Welcome to SENS Talk. My name is Brandon, and I'm your host. Before we get started, please follow us on Twitter at @SensTalk_, for live updates of the games and, of course, breaking news. There's some breaking news that's gone throughout the day. Mike Hoffman, as you know, has been traded to the Sharks and then to the Panthers. We're here joined with Trevor Shackles. He writes for the HockeyBuzz.com. Trevor, what's your opinion on this whole trades debacle?
You know, I think it's overall, I think it's pretty underwhelming, and obviously after the news that came out last week regarding his Hoffman's fiancée, Monica Carrick, and Melinda Carlson and all that, I think people were obviously expecting that the return for Hoffman was going to be less than they had hoped. I remember around the trade deadline, people were talking about, you know, Robert Thomas or Jordan Kyrou from St. Louis, but obviously I knew it was going to be less, but even with that in mind, this is still an extremely disappointing trade, just because, you know, they moved down around in the draft. They swapped Cody Donaghy for Julius Bergman.
Yeah,
and,
for
Donaghy. That's maybe like a slight upgrade for an AHL defenseman who's got, you know, a small chance to become a third pairing guy or something like that. And then you're swapping Hoffman, who's a first line winger, for Mikko Bodker, who's a third line winger.
Yeah.
He's a fine top line winger, but they got no futures in this deal, and it just doesn't make sense to me why they wouldn't want to prioritize, you know, maybe getting one B-level prospect or a couple of draft picks.
Yeah. The full breakdown of this trade was to the Sharks. At the beginning, they acquired Mike Hoffman, Cody Donaghy, and a fifth-rounder in 2020. The Senators originally acquired Mikko Bodker, 37 points, 15 goals last season. A defensive prospect, Julius Bergman, who had 10 goals, a career high in the AHL last year for San Jose, and a sixth-rounder in 2020. A couple hours later, the Sharks traded Hoffman and a seventh-round pick to the Florida Panthers for a second, fourth, and fifth-round pick. It was reported and speculated that the Senators were told not to trade within the division, but as I tweeted out, Darren Dreger shot down those rumors, so that's untrue. But I think you and I, Trevor, can both agree. Bodker's a fine player, but if the Senators are going to go through a full rebuild here, it only makes sense if they would go for the picks and not just for a third-liner, that they have plenty of third-liners. It just makes sense to get the picks, correct?
Right. Well, to me, this screams that Melnick and Dorion are going to try to sell this to the fans as, you know, we're going to still try to make the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
I think that mainly because they don't have that first-round pick next year, I think that really hampers things. And I wouldn't be surprised in a Carlson deal as well if it's sort of, I don't think it's going to be, obviously the return is going to be this low, but it may be a similar return where one of the players is, you know, maybe a second pairing defenseman or he's not that great. But I think they're really going to try to sell this as we're still going to try to be competitive, even though it is a massive downgrade going from Hoffman to Bodker.
I agree, and you know, the Senators, going along with it, the Senators saved $5.3 million in total salary paid with this deal with Donaghy and Hoffman being let go. But at I think I agree with you there, where they're trying to fake. Obviously, they can't sell it because the fans are not that stupid, but they're trying to sell something here. Because with trading Hoffman just for picks, they would have saved about just over $11 million. So I think you're right there, and they're just trying to keep Sens fans grasping on hope of making the playoffs next year, which is nearly impossible without Carlson, that's for sure. And you know, they saved some money here. There could have been more money saved. So I think I agree with you. This is more of a marketing ploy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, without that first rounder, it's going to be a tough year if they don't reacquire it.
Yeah, you know, you know, I'm not one of them to say that they should take that pick away from Colorado. I think this pick for this season, it's very likely the Senators are going to be a bottom of the league next year, but the fact is, it's very unlikely they're going to get a top 3 pick. It's more likely 4 or 5 again. The Senators finished second last, people are forgetting, so you literally have to be as bad somehow as last year, which is in this league, you can see Vegas, etc. You know, the league, you can go from bottom to top very quickly. So you take a look at that, and Ottawa, they'll probably be lower tier of the league, but they can definitely will probably have a better pick. I mean, a worse pick next year. This is probably the best opportunity for the Senators to get a top prospect, and with Phillips Medina on the board, that's a guy that, in my opinion, in a few years can replace Mike Hoffman.
Exactly. I don't think you can pass up on Philip Zadina, and at this point, I'm convinced that the Canadians are going to take Jesperi Kotkaniemi at third overall. They want a center, so if Zadina's actually on the board at 4, I don't think you can pass up on a guy who has 30-plus goal potential. And, you know, like you said, even if you finish dead last year, you're actually slightly likely to pick 4th overall and moving down 3 spots.
Exactly.
So, you know, they'd have to finish, they would have to finish dead last in order to guarantee that top 4. So I think the math definitely says that they should keep the pick for this year.
Yeah. And, you know, literally all the Sounders need is slightly better goaltending, and they'll be out of the basement. They'll be mid-tier. Yeah. They'll be not in the playoffs, but they won't be dead last. They just need above 900 save percentage. So that's why it's ridiculous for people to say, they should get rid of this pick for this year, because logically that doesn't make any sense, because a 4th overall pick, you don't get that every single day, and you're probably not going to get that next year. I could be wrong. There's still a high chance that it could be a better pick. But with everything that's going wrong with this team, you can't have this team giving that 4th overall pick and then it turns out to be worse next year. You need to finally just stick with the plan here and just take that 4th overall pick and take whoever's available there. Hopefully it will be Zadina.
Right, and it's going to be very disheartening for fans next year, just because there's going to be no reward at the end of the year, you know, unless maybe Colorado swoops in and wants to trade for Erik Karlsson.
Yeah.
I could maybe see that happening, but it's unlikely. So, you're right. It's tough, but it's the right call, and I think they'll just end up taking Zadina.
I think the only way I'd be happy in a way where we would trade Karlsson, because I think it's inevitable. I think it's going to happen. I think there's a slight chance with this Hoffman deal he gets signed, but the odds are he gets traded. Everything's lining up that way. I think the best case scenario for Senators fans is Erik Karlsson being shipped to Colorado, getting that first pick for next season, considering the Senators will not be good next year. Even if it will most likely be, I think it will be a top 10 pick. I don't know if it'll be top 5, but I think it will be a top 10 pick, and that's definitely a valuable pick. And if you get that in the Karlsson trade, you can get a couple other pieces there. I think that would be one of the better scenarios Sens fans can handle.
For sure, and I think if Colorado's willing to give that up, I'd be surprised if they were willing to do that. But maybe they could get that pick and one of their defense prospects. I'd be same thing. I'd be surprised if they were willing to move on from Sam Girard or something.
Yeah.
But if you could get Sam Girard in that first, that would be massive. But then again, I should probably keep put my expectations lower on the deal with this.
Yeah.
But they should at least get one decent player, and we've talked about Vegas. They really want Shea Theodore.
Yeah.
They're talking about Cody Glass as well. So hopefully they can at least get one solid guy to build around, whether that's a forward or a defenseman. I
think, you know what, you're going to get a good piece for Karlsson, and hopefully they don't, I know they will, but hopefully they won't tag Bobby Ryan in this deal. Even with Bobby Ryan in this deal, the Senators have pieces. If they can, if God forbid, if Colorado offer sheet Stone, I don't think they will, but if that's the possibility. So let's say they don't. We have Stone still, we have Duchesne still. I think they will get re-signed. With that money that Karlsson will be lost, the lost money from Karlsson will go to those two. They'll be re-signed. You still have Logan Brown. You still have Colin White. You still have some good Shabbat. You still have some good players in the prospect pool. Then you have this 4th overall pick, and then you still have the pieces you're getting back from this Karlsson deal. So I think it will be a full-out rebuild. The Senators will keep their core: Shabbat, Stone, Duchesne, etc., Dzingel. But I think the Senators, this rebuild could take no longer than 3-5 years until they're back in the playoff mix, in my opinion. Philip Gustafsson will be ready by then. Zadina should be good by then if we take him, hopefully. And whoever we get back from that Karlsson deal, unless, obviously, if the Senators get fleeced, which is obviously a possibility, knowing Senators and the Sens fans are used to that. I think the Senators, if they do the right trade here and if they can somehow make a good deal here, the best case scenario deal with this Karlsson deal, I think they'll be back on track in 3 to 5 years as a solid competitive team.
I mean, I like your optimism.
Yeah.
They definitely do have those pieces, and I was arguing this a year ago. I was arguing that they have the core to build around, and they just need to add extra pieces.
Yeah.
But now that they've traded Brassard and Hoffman, and are probably going to trade Karlsson, I honestly think they should just, trade everyone. Like, I don't even, at this point, like, why even keep Stone? Why not see what you can get for him? I really doubt they would do that, because, I mean, things would probably get even worse with the fan base.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, I don't really trust the front
management
to do a proper rebuild. That's the only thing, right? So you're right, they do have some
nice pieces.
Some good pieces.
Yeah.
It's a lot of what ifs moving forward.
I agree. If you look at 2011, the Senators are going to go through a full rebuild, and you can see what happened there. They avoided that, and we're back in the same situation as 2011. Mark Stone, though, is 26 years old, and I think the amount we gave up for Matt Duchene automatically shows that we're not going to trade him. I think, well, there's always a possibility, but I think there's a point here where I agree where you should trade. A lot of people should be traded. But there's also another point where it's still a business, right? You still need to attract fans to come, and you can still fetch a lot from Duchene. Yeah, you can still fetch a lot from Stone and Duchene, but there's a certain point where it's like it's gonna be low attendance next year. I can guarantee you that. But if you trade Stone or Shabbat, not Shabbat, God forbid, Stone or Duchene, the fan base, even the loyalist fans won't show up, and I think the Senators. They won't be able to convince fans they'll be competitive next year, but I think if you keep Stone and you keep Duchene, you have Shabbat, you have Brown, you have Colin White, and then you have like Gagne in the prospect pools, the DNR, whoever they take fourth overall, the pieces they get back from this Carlson trade, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it does, there is some optimism there. If they can do the right things, which clearly they haven't been able to do in the last year, or since the Kunitz goal, if they can start hockey-wise doing the right things and let's move in that direction. Maybe there can be some optimism here, but right now there's not. But there is still a good amount of pieces around this franchise, player-wise, that the Senators fans should have some optimism.
Right. Well, I will say that there is a path for this team and this organization to get back on track.
Yeah.
But they obviously have to do the right thing.
Yes.
To get there first, and just starting off with this Hoffman trade, it doesn't make me that optimistic about it.
Yeah.
But then again, the Brassard deal was good. I like getting Phil Gustafson.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and just the fact that it seems like they will be moving Carlson, that's depressing. But
yeah,
like you said, it's not impossible for this team to be good again. It's just it's going to take a few years, and most importantly, it's going to take a new owner to come in
obviously.
Be willing to spend some money, especially off the ice, with adding a few more people to surround Pierre Dorion.
I don't like Eugene Melnyk, but clearly he's in financial trouble, and he's not dumb. He's made a lot of money for a reason, and Eugene Melnyk is clearly holding out with the Senators franchise until the last second, where it's the highest value when they have LeBreton, when they have this and that, low payroll, which will whatever the ownership wants that it's buying. And, he's just going to wait this out to get the highest value he can for his franchise and sell it and move it back to Barbados and never be heard of again. But until that happens, he doesn't care what really happens with the on-ice product unless it's just trying to get as many people to come to the games so he doesn't lose substantial amounts of money, continue to anyway. And I think Melnyk will sell, but it's depending on when we get LeBreton, when the ownership is right, and this is a situation around Ottawa at the time.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I think he knows what his plan is. He's obviously just not going to say it in public, and I'm hoping this happens sooner rather than later. But at the same time, we've heard rumors about him selling. Yeah. For the past few years, honestly.
Yeah.
And it hasn't come to fruition. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
But the second a new owner comes in, I really think that things will start to change.
There's one thing you have to worry about when you get a new owner, and that's what will they be like. You take a look, I don't know, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but you take a look, let's say, with the Expos. Let's say the new ownership is like Jeffrey Loria, God forbid, but if it's like that, and they're just... There's always a possibility, right, that they would just want to relocate the team. More likely, the case is they will keep the team in Ottawa because of the LeBreton bid. But there are some people that tell me that always be wary. Look what happened to the Expos. Look what happened to the Thrashers. Well, not Thrashers, but you know what I mean. You always have to be wary with the new ownership, but what I always reply with is anything is better than Eugene Melnyk running this team to the ground and rooting my favorite sports team of my life. Anything's better than that, and I'm willing to risk a lot just to get rid of Eugene Melnyk.
Yeah, definitely. And Melnyk has been just god-awful, especially the past few years. And you're right, like, it could be, a new owner could be just as worse, but I really can't see how it could get worse unless they do get relocated.
Yeah.
But I just don't think the NHL would sign off on that. I mean, the entire board of governors would have to sign off on that. So
they wouldn't.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And even just a slight improvement, even if he just spends, I just want the owner to spend more money on the off-ice staff, you know? And try to get this downtown arena, and then hopefully everything falls into place.
That's what's most frustrating about this final comment here is, you know, you can say you want to go through a rebuild, save money on ice, that's fine. But when the fact you're not putting money into your off-ice management, that concerns me. Because, like, what are you doing then? Clearly it's just about the bottom line and just making the highest amount of money you can. But, like, it just doesn't make any sense. You're getting rid of Karlsson, Hoffman, etc., the big payroll, and Bobby Ryan potentially, and then you're not even adding to your front office. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
You know, it really doesn't, and you know, I could probably rant and rave about Melnyk for a long time. But you know, it's getting old, it's getting sick, and I really would just love for the Senators to not be the laughing stock of the league right now.
And you take a look at Chicago in the early 2000s. The Senators will push through this eventually. If they remain in Ottawa, which I think they will, I don't think it's a question they'll stay in Ottawa. And I think the Senators in 15, look at Chicago now in 10, 15 years, being optimistic like I am, hopefully we'll be talking about a couple of Cup championships.
Right, and I mean, this is probably the lowest they will be. And, probably, I guess, after Karlsson is traded. But if you look at it like that, then they're only going to go up after this. So that's I guess a good way of looking at it.
Exactly. You know, when you're at the bottom, the only way you can go is up. So besides that, Trevor, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate this on short notice. Just bizarre news today. Trevor, why don't you tell the viewers where they can find your work and your social media, etc.?
So they can follow me on Twitter at ShackPS. And like you mentioned earlier, I switched over to HockeyBuzz.com, and then you can also find my podcast called the HOFFMAN. I'll probably have an episode up after the draft. So,
Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Trevor, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
All right, thanks, Brandon.
See you later. That was Trevor Shackles from HockeyBuzz.com. Great guy. I recommend his articles. He used to write for the Silver 7 SENS, and he's a fantastic writer, very interesting read usually, so please check him out. Put a link in the description below for his profile or whatever from Hockey Buzz. Besides that, this is just an insane, frustrating off-season just kicking off. Forgot to mention with Trevor, Smith and Karlsson talks are heating up. Smith potentially Chicago, Karlsson once again with Vegas. Darren Dreger says Senators are listening on Karlsson deals, but are not actively shopping him. So that's a big point there. But I do expect Karlsson to be traded by mid-July, early August. But we'll see. We'll see. Besides that, I will have a draft preview video Thursday night, the day before the NHL draft on June 20, I believe that would be June 22nd. Yeah, June 22nd. So stay tuned for that. And besides that, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hoffman, it was interesting end to your tenure in Ottawa. Hopefully, you know, with the situation with your wife, with your fiance, if it's true and your fiance did those horrible things, I don't know how you can stay with her for that, but you know, hopefully you do well in Florida. Just as a hockey player, I don't want to wish bad things on anyone, but let's see. This has been a crazy story, and it's not over yet. So Besides that, thank you for watching. Please follow us on Twitter at SENSTalk_. For all updates of the games and, of course, breaking news. Please like us on Facebook, SENSTalk, and our circles on Google Plus, SENSTalk. Click the big red button down there and subscribe to us. Like this video, share this video wherever you share cool stuff. Please check out our website, SENSTalkCentral.com. And of course, click here and here to subscribe to us, season playlist, off-season playlist, and our most recent upload. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. I'll see you Thursday night for the draft preview. I'll see you then. Go, Sens, go.